Welcome to the British Basketball League YouTube channel. It's week 5, it's Friday night, and we've got 2 games to bring you. Tipping off now is our featured Sky Game of the Week. Cheshire Phoenix, they've travelled to the as-yet undefeated London Lions. But here on the YouTube channel, it's Leicester versus Surrey. The Riders are in form. They're on a 3-game winning streak, but the Scorchers are yet to chalk up a victory. Could tonight be the night? Calling this one is Dan Routledge alongside Josh Bett.
Thank you very much, Jeanette. Yes, the 2 coaches are ready for the action, and so are Josh and I. And Josh, Leicester coming into this good form. They obviously lost their opening home game of the season, but since then, they've found their rhythm.
Well, absolutely. You know, Leicester doing what they've done time and time again, adapting with a new group of players, and it's an exciting time for the Riders, but Surrey also looking for their first victory this season. Yeah,
Surrey have come close, but not quite got over the line yet. Can tonight be the night? Let's have a look at the starting 5 for today's game, starting with the Leicester Riders, and it's no change. Why would you change a winning unit at the moment? It's all the rookies in the starting 5 for the Leicester Riders, and at times we've seen a little bit from all 5 of these new signings for Rob Paternostro. At the other end of the floor, there's a little bit more experience in their backcourt. Justin Robinson has struggled a little bit with injury, but he's playing really well. Josh Steele into the starting 5, another guy who's been doing really well this season so far. And Josh, one guy you wanted to highlight, the Leicester end of the floor, Xavier Pinson.
Well, there's a lot of players you can look out for this lineup, but you know, one thing I've loved about him is he's got a lot of length, but also can push the tempo as the #1 point guard for the Riders. You know, he gives you a lot more than just scoring and facilitation. He's a rebounder, but also he's a phenomenal defender as well.
And at the other end of the floor, coming off the bench, you don't get much more experience than this guy, a former Olympian, Andrew Lawrence.
Well, he's one of those player coaches on the floor, but the one thing he's going to give you is very consistent perimeter shooting. As we mentioned, a man that was in the eyes of the Washington Wizards when he came out of college, but now it's about experience and using those veteran years.
Well, we're not far away from tip-off here at the Morningside Arena. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Caught that with one hand, and Wayne just threw it down hard.
Another pump fake for him. He's got lots of room, Johnson. Oh, Taj Green! Hello!
Just followed his point guard and smashed the ball in before anyone else could react.
Jordan Johnson gets in, puts the kernel in the pot. Taj Green, kaboom! Jaron Holmes, one-on-one with Defoe and swiped away by Taj Green. Now they're pushing forward. McGill! Oh, what a block! Caleb Asprey, lock and key.
This is a basket-saving block. Asprey comes across clean as you like off the backboard.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places that never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Well, welcome back to Leicester. Rob Paternostro sending his charges out against Surrey. That usually means a win. It's been a long, long time since Surrey last beat Leicester. You have to go back 11 years to find the last win for the Scorchers against the Riders. But can they get it done here tonight? It's Riders with the opening tip, and Bridges looking to go inside. Called for the travel, just couldn't get it up quick enough.
Well, that might be a good defensive matchup there. Shaquan James, as we mentioned, not afraid to defend any big in the post, and at that moment, forcing Leicester into an early turnover. Good start on defense for the Scorchers.
Here's Mohammed. On to Gooden. High screen comes up. Mohammed trying to find some room. Shot clock getting low. Steele needs to let it fly, and he does, and there's the first points of the game.
Dan, I like the way how aggressively Leicester do defend a pick and roll. They're not allowing the Surrey Scorchers to get inside their paint, but again, Scorchers will live with those three-pointers.
Pinson, he's looking to attack. No way through. Skips it out to the corner. Thomas using his athleticism to get inside, but has it stolen away by Gooden. Steele leaves the ball behind. And there's going to be a hand-checking foul called against Thomas.
You'd like to see Surrey be a little bit more effective in transition, and they got the ball out. But, this three-pointer, those are the kind of shots that, Leicester will live with, because it's a tough three-pointer. But again, they've got to make sure they're a bit more effective on the offensive end.
He started the season really well from the three-point line, Josh Steele. That's why he's in the starting lineup now. Jamieson with the mid-range shot. Long rebound comes out to Gooden. He takes it into the key and is off the mark. Thomas has it. Thomas looking to attack himself all the way to the rim. Nobody could stop him.
Again, that's just aggression there. Surrey just need to be a little bit more compact in the paint and make it a little bit more authoritarian.
Gooden out to Steele. Here's Robinson. Mohammed looking to go to work along the baseline. Tough shot, leaves it short, but another offensive rebound. It's Gooden again. Robinson turns it into a three.
Well, that's 2 offensive rebounds there for the Surrey Scorchers. And again, if that's something they're going to go to, they got to be very consistent for that for 4 quarters.
Well, the one thing you would expect from Surrey is for Jamieson to be crashing the boards. Maybe not Gooden getting a couple of offensive rebounds, but it is he who's been going after it. Foul is called on Shaquan Jamieson, but there he is, Gooden with the rebound, and Robinson is a pure shooter, one of the best of all time in the British Basketball League. Career average around 40%. Here's Holmes getting to the rim, and Robinson coming with the help is called for the foul.
And Dan, right there, that's where you got to question Surrey Scorchers' defense. I mean, it's off an inbound play. It's a simple give and go. There's no pressure on the ball whatsoever. But again, you're relying on your help side defense. Those are the kind of mistakes they cannot afford to make here on the road.
The other thing you would imagine fairly high up on the scout report when you're looking at Holmes is he likes to attack the basket, so you've got to cut off his lane, and they didn't.
Well, you made a very good point of this in the pregame, of course. You sort of gave him that comparison to Larry Austin Jr. Not so much what he gives you offensively, but it's the aggression, the fearlessness, and confidence that he shows when attacking the basket.
Well, he's got his first point of the game on the board. And it's 2 for 2. We'll show a full court pressure here from the Riders. Robinson around the screen, kicks it over to Steele. He's going to fire up another one. That's way short, and Asbury catches the air ball. Pinson in the corner, rookie against veteran, round the screen, drops it down to Bridges, two-handed flush. Well, he was a perfect 6 for 6 last week against Newcastle, and he's made his first attempt here. Good hands. Asbury digging down at the ball. Thomas, sorry, digging down at the ball. Hits Asbury in transition. And that one doesn't go. Steele with it.
Well, you like to see how quickly Leicester Riders get the ball out in transition. Something they did a very good job of against the Bristol Flyers.
Well, Rob Paternoster does like his team to get those 3 points if they can in transition, but Asbury wasn't able to. A little slip from Steele. Robinson, deep three. is off the mark. There's Jameson on the offensive glass. That's what he gives you.
But again, Surrey Scorchers, where are the points coming from? Second chances. So we've seen 2 3-pointers, but that's what they need to go to. They need to be very aggressive.
Holmes driving in, just couldn't quite force it over the front of the rim, so he'll go to the line for 2. Well, we talked about it. Saquon Jameson, in his first spell with the Scorchers, led the league in rebounding, and I think he's going to be somewhere near the top come the end of this season as well, because he is a guy with a nose for the ball.
Well, he's not the foundation big man. He's not one of those centers you could throw the ball in the post and say, hey, give us a back down, get us some points. But as you mentioned, he is relentless. He will get those double-doubles. Rebounds is his key go-to, but it's all second chance points. If he can get a very high double-double in this game between 15 and 20 points, maybe the Scorchers can give themselves a bit of optimism to get that first victory.
Well, he's averaging 4.5 offensive rebounds per game so far. It's obviously still early days in the season, but those were the kind of numbers that he was averaging in his first spell with the Scorchers as well. 12.8 rebounds in total. Holmes knocking down the free throws and tying the game up at 8. Around the high screen. Backs out to Robinson. 6 on the shot clock. Jameson. Spinning baseline. Well, Josh, there he is in the low block backing down.
Well, I think you may have heard me on that one, Dan. But, you know, that offense there, you can see Gooden coming off 2 screens that you've got to make the defense shift and come up with some switches.
Pinson with a little hesitation and Gooden with the reach round. So once again, Leicester will go to the free throw line. They're making a living here in the early stages.
Well, going back to that previous play with Jameson, the positivity of that is, you know, what Surrey have lacked this season is balance in their offense. They're a heavy, predominantly 3-point shooting team. If you get something in the post with Jameson in this case, maybe Hunt coming off the bench, you just give them that balance. You take that pressure off the backcourt.
First one is good. Yes, Surrey second only to Cheshire in the league in terms of the number of 3-pointers they put up over the course of the season, but they're at the bottom end of the percentages, so high volume, low success rate, not a great combination.
Well, a lot of that comes down to the shot selection as well. You see a lot of times a lot of isolation from backcourt players. Can they develop an offense where they get high percentage looks? If they get more high percentage looks, that percentage is going to change in this game.
Scores are tied at 10. Justin Robinson crosses midcourt. Defense the cry from the home fans. Jameson rolling to the basket but blows the layup.
That's good hit recovery, help side defense of the Riders, but again, a good execution on the pick and roll, unable to finish.
Asbury, that's a confident looking shot, but it falls a long way short. Robinson back to Gooden. He's going to take the 3. He knew that was off. Steele trying to get the rebound. Who'd that touch last? It came off a Leicester player, so it'll be a Surrey ball. 4:46 on the clock here in the first quarter. The scores are tied at 10. Timeout called. We'll be right back after this break.
Everyone knows you deserve it. They must be blind like curtains, certain. Anything you got, you've earned it. Sky is the limit, it's reachable. Just jump high, it's achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable.
Couple minutes, gotta score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stop, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable, yeah. I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable, yeah. I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable, yeah. I'm unbeatable.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Welcome back to Leicester, where it's the Scorchers ball from the end line. Little bobble on the baseline there. Don't mention that around Surrey after the heartbreak last week. Is Steele in the corner for 3. Jameson has it ripped away, and it came off his leg last. Good play from Thomas.
That's a phenomenal job by Jameson getting another offensive ball. But, you know, there's a slight hesitation. In that case there, just initiate the contact, go to the free throw line. But, you know, Dan, one thing I want to talk about, go 2 offenses back. They went to that pick and roll sequence with Jameson. He got the ball in the paint, but it was good help side defense by Jaron Holmes. At that point, keep going to that option. If the help side comes, somebody's going to be wide open on the perimeter.
Well, we'll see if they go back to it. Here's Pinson. He has his pocket pick, but Adowu, fresh into the game, is able to keep it alive for Leicester. He's still going after it, but Steele has it now. Robinson with some room. That's a breakdown you can't afford, because Justin Robinson will knock that down all night.
Well, that's what we talked about. High percentage looks on the perimeter, wide open, and that's now their 3rd tray ball of the game.
So we're looking to back down. Oh, that's a tough shot. Robinson into the key, drops it off to Jameson. Well, he went the long way round, but he got his 2.
Again, it comes from a solid penetration, making the defense collapse. But, you know, you're right there. Maybe Jameson could have gone up with the first one, but in the end, it's still a good 2 points.
Thomas squares up. Now he's looking to back down to the spin. And there's going to be a little use of the leg there from Mohammed to commit the foul.
It's a slightly bigger lineup they've gone with in this game. You know, a lot of times you see Surrey go with a heavy guard-oriented 5. But, you know, especially against this Leicester team, this is something that they have to identify and try to take advantage of.
Well, Leicester's quite a long team, which can cause you some issues in matching up. Leicester again at the free throw line. They're already 6 for 6, but Surrey over the limit. Riders captain Kimball McKenzie entering the fray for the first time. Well, there's the first missed free throw of the game by Leicester.
It's great when you got a player like Kimball McKenzie who comes off the bench, because he's not naturally going to be a #1 scoring option. But, you know, the good thing you have with Kimball McKenzie is balance of being a solid floor general for the second unit of the Riders players.
And when his number's called, he's got a brilliant mid-range shot as well. And, of course, 90% free throw shooter will help any team. Thomas sits down after that made free throw. TJ Lull into the game for the Riders. Here's Wang, around to Robinson. Hunt at the high post. Looking for some help, gets it from Wang. Shot clock getting low. Wang needs to go to work here. Gives it to Gooden. That's not an easy spot to catch the ball. And there's a push in the back from Mohammed that's going to get called there. Well, he asked a lot of Gooden with that pass, Wang.
Yeah, but I think where Surrey went wrong in that offense is when they made that, you know, high post entry against Hunt. Remember, it's a man-to-man defense. You know, Mohammed does a great job of sealing off in the low block. That's something you've got to try to get the ball inside the paint. Put Leicester under pressure, get them into the foul trouble early on. But they've got to take those advantages.
Well, the problem with all these early fouls for Surrey is even ones like that where the ball's in the air and therefore there's no possession, result in free throws. You can see that's now the 6th foul of the quarter against the visitors. And some of that is about the style of play and the fact that Leicester have been going to the basket and Surrey have been spending most of their time out on the three-point line where you don't pick up as many fouls.
It's going to be interesting now with Jameson out of the lineup. You know, how many more offensive rebounds are the Scorchers going to be able to come up with? Because at the moment the game is tied. Could this be a point where, you know, the Riders start to build a little bit more momentum?
Well, at the minute they've got more offensive rebounds than Leicester have defensive. 5-4. Here's Robinson. First touch of the ball for Teo Ogundengbe. Nice pass, but Wang got a little underneath the basket, but the reason he did was because he got a little shove from his opposite number, Samadou.
Teo Ogundengbe has that mismatch against Kimball McKenzie, but look how far away he is from the paint. When you got a power forward who's being guarded by a point guard, you want to get them at the double block area. That's going to be a more dangerous area for him. Again, you have to identify those mismatches.
Well, Teo's been identifying them for about 10 years, hasn't he? Loves a post up. I mean, we think of Teo hitting down threes in the corner, but he's more than happy to take the smaller guards down onto the low block when he can. Wang knocks them down from the free throw line. 17-15 Surrey lead. Surrey jumped into a little zone here. Here's Adowu. Asbury. He's been a little short on his three-point shot so far today. Teo leaking out in front. Finding Hunt on the trail, and Asbury is called for the foul.
Well, it's interesting you talk about their zone defense because they had to scramble to come up with a rebound, but one thing every coach loves to see when you have a big man like Hunt who's willing to get ahead and run the floor like that.
Caleb Asbury will sit down. His only points so far come from the free throw line. Hunt, long way short on that one.
It's interesting. You look at the standard he's played at, you know, featuring for the Tall Blacks in the FIBA Asia Cup in 2022. But, you know, one thing he's going to have to really adapt to this league is the speed, because every game he's played, he gets into foul trouble so early. And the thing is, the Scorchers need him on the floor.
Of course, Tall Blacks coached by a former British Basketball League player, Impero Cameron. His McKenzie, and that is his shot, that little off the dribble, 15-foot and in. He knocks them down with regularity. Robinson. Again, it's late in the shot clock here. Wang putting it on the floor, getting all the way to the basket, blocked by Lowell. McKenzie, he's blocked, but the ricochet goes out of bounds for a Leicester possession.
I got to feel for him because on the previous offense, you know, he did a phenomenal job of setting that ball screen, but again, he had that post up. You've got to feed the ball to the big man. If he's going to work hard for you, you've got to reward him and get him some touches in the paint.
Justin Robinson sits down, 6 points already for him. Oh, Bowman, they lost him underneath. Cooper recovers. Bowman still trying to find room, trying to force it home. Gets his own rebound, tries again, and finally it goes in for Blake Bowman.
Well, that's going to frustrate Lloyd Gardner again. Inbound play, getting caught off a back screen. No communication from the Scorchers players.
Here's Lawrence round the screen. Nice pass to Hunt. Oh, he probably could have gone up with that. Goes on to Cooper, and Cooper is one guy. As soon as he's on court, you know the three balls are going up.
Yeah, but you want to see Hunt be a little bit more creative and a bit more aggressive attacking the basket. Can't go into that pick and roll sequence. You know, go at them, draw some contact. That time he looked like he's a little bit shy to make anything happen.
Well, Lawrence called for the foul. So Kimball McKenzie is going to the free throw line. He's actually missed a few free throws this season, missed a couple, which for a normal person is something that happens, but not for Kimball. He's not yet reached the threshold to be in the all-time rankings, but he will do at some point this season. And at the rate he's going, he'll come in right at number 1. Top of the free throw charts all time in the British Basketball League. Here's Lawrence driving through, off the mark. Well, he gets his own rebound, sloppy that from Leicester. But they're able to avoid the punishment. Here's Holmes again, they're just direct to the basket. I know he doesn't score that, but it's too easy.
Well, this has been a criticism of Surrey Scorchers' defense. They just allow too many penetrations inside their paint.
Lawrence for 3 off the mark, Adowa with the rebound. Holmes. Adowa, you've got to get out to him. He can shoot the ball. Lowell bats it out to Holmes. He's going to fire up the 3, and he's going to knock it down.
That's just too much time and space there. You know, you're respecting the shooter. You got to get up in their face. But, you know, more importantly, Scorchers have to keep the Riders off the offensive boards now.
The Riders had missed their first 4 3-point shots, but that one goes in. Hunt trying to reply, and that will do it. End of the first quarter here in Leicester. The Riders lead 24 points to 21. We'll be back with the second quarter after this.
Throwdown, oh my goodness. Caught that with one hand, and Wang just threw it down hard.
Another pump fake for him. He's got lots of room, Johnson. Oh, Taj Green, hello.
Just followed his point guard and smashed the ball in before anyone else could react.
Jordan Johnson gets in, puts the kernel in the pot. Taj Green, kaboom! Jaron Holmes, one-on-one with Defoe and swiped away by Taj Green. Now they're pushing forward. McGill! Oh, what a block! Caleb Asprey, lock and key.
This is a basket-saving block. Asprey comes across clean as you like off the backboard.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Welcome back to the Morningside Arena, where the Surrey Scorchers get us underway for the second quarter. Daniel Routledge, Josh Bett with you. The Riders, who have been undefeated in 38 consecutive games against Surrey. 37 wins, 1 draw. Here's Hunt in the corner and knocked down straight away. Bailey with the 3.
Carleton University, first 2 years of Canadian University basketball, struggled to get on the court, but a great inspiring story of how he progressed in his university days.
Here's McKenzie, top of the key, and said it before, he going left, going right. He loves that shot. Here's Lawrence. Pinson wasn't quite quick enough to the first step and was always chasing it with no help. There wasn't many other options other than a foul.
You know, that's a very clever play by Andrew Lawrence, faking the ball screen. And what that does, it just sends a message to the defense. Hey, you're going to have to really work if you're going to try and stop us.
Bodies flying all over the place, but Cooper gets his shot away. Pinson, top of the key for 3. They're still struggling a little bit, but they have got another offensive rebound, and Pinson almost jammed in another offensive rebound. Lawrence pushing it, fires it up, and he will go to the line for two. Again, a heady play from Lawrence in transition.
Yeah, but go back to the previous play by Leicester. It was really down to Hunt, how aggressively he came out and showed against the ball screen. And that kind of put off the offense for getting anything easy. But, Surrey Scorchers at the moment. Jameson's gone to the bench. Now they look a little bit vulnerable by protecting their own rim for the rebounds.
Well, it was Surrey who were doing the offensive rebounding early on, but Leicester now are up to 4 in that category. How long before we see him return to hoover up all the loose possessions? Lawrence ties the game at 26.
Well, Lloyd Gardner, has to have either Hunt or Jameson on the floor because it is a very heavily guard-oriented offense.
It's Hunt at the moment. Again, they're in this zone. Adowu looking to attack down the middle and finishing well.
That might be the alarm bells there to bring Jameson back on. The mismatch clearly in favor for Leicester.
Lawrence getting to the rim again, and he will shoot another 2.
A lot of people try to talk about what is his biggest asset for this team. We're talking about a veteran player now, 33 years of age. The amount of injuries he's gone through, it's very inspiring to see him still playing. But the one key aspect about Andrew Lawrence, he reads the game so effectively.
They talk about high basketball IQ. He's certainly at the top end of that category. As you say, we haven't really seen the best of Andrew Lawrence in the British Basketball League. We've obviously watched him for years as Great Britain international, but injuries have sort of derailed him. Hopefully he'll have a full year this time around. McKenzie back to Washington. Bowman, he's going to take the mid-range shot off the mark. Rebound McKenzie in there with the big boys, finds a way out. Here's Washington for 3, and he strings it.
Dan, you got to go back to Kimball McKenzie, the very silent offense. How quickly he comes off a ball screen. What that does is just has to make the defense shift and shake and make a few switches.
Well, Leicester now with 8 second chance points. They've really upped that category as the game has worn on. Bailey on the opposite corner from where he hit one earlier. Washington drops it back to Bowman. Here's Adowu for 3. And he knocks it down. Back-to-back threes for the Riders. And suddenly they're up 6.
Well, Surrey's defense has scrambled both times back in transition. You cannot give the Riders too many wide open looks from the perimeter.
Oh, a real battle down in the low post between Hunt and Bowman, and the foul goes against the Leicester man for illegal use of the arms. They usually let them bump and bang for a little bit. When the ball goes that way, they tend to call a foul, but the referee spotted one he wasn't too keen on, so it'll be a Surrey ball from the end. Lawrence out to Robinson, fires up the 3. Rims out. Surrey getting on the offensive glass again. Wang fakes the 3, loses the ball, but loses the ball because there was a foul.
I think Wang may have got away with a travel there on the penetration. Definitely took a heavy step there, but one thing I'd like to see is Lloyd Gardner is keeping Hunt in the game, and on the previous play, you see how aggressively he is trying to work and post up at the double block. But Surrey don't give him the ball in the post.
Well, early to the bonus here. 2 free throws for Wang. So that's a good outcome from what could have been a Leicester fast break. There's going to be a substitution here for the Scorchers as Bailey sits down, and we were asking when we thought we would see the return of Saquon Jameson. Here he is.
This is interesting, going with a bigger lineup, so now Hunt and James on the floor. What I imagine Lloyd Gardner is going to try and do is bring Hunt away from the basket, try to go for a 4-out-1 and probably try to isolate Jameson. But more importantly, it's a guard-oriented offense. I think what he's probably expecting from Jameson, hey, any shot goes up, go for the offensive board.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Let everybody else shoot, and he'll go chase down any that don't go in. Here's Washington. Still can't get used to Washington wearing 11. He's been 13 through his career in the Leicester Riders, but 11 this year for some reason as Lowell drives to the basket. Washington hitting the deck. Wang trying to take it in. I think Adu will got a piece of that. Well, they weren't quite sure who that pass was intended to. Hunt's going to fire up the three, and McKenzie grabs the loose ball. McKenzie driving in, looked like he was going to bobble it, but somehow finished it.
But he is just so intelligent when he comes off a ball screen. And again, we talk about Andrew Lawrence reading the game. And this is something I spoke about my father when he played for the Niagara River Lions. He is not a typical one-on-one player, but he knows how to use a ball screen. Probably one of the best in the British Basketball League.
He's also usually very direct, very straight line to the basket. That time, because he kind of bobbled it, he went round underneath, but showed he could still finish it in that situation. And Surrey calling for time here, trailing by 8. I mentioned their terrible record against Leicester, 38 games without a win. They haven't won in Leicester since 2010. They haven't won a league game in Leicester since 2008, going back to the Guildford Heat days. Leicester just have had their number. The only time they've avoided defeat was a playoff game where it was an aggregate situation. And Surrey hit a three on the buzzer to tie the first leg, so they didn't get beat. They got well beat in aggregate in the second leg, but they just haven't been able to get over the hump against Leicester.
I mean, history's definitely not going in favor of the Scorchers, but you know, Scorchers have gone with this bigger lineup, Hunt and Jameson. And what I like about Rob Paternoster's team, they've done a very good job of exploiting that size and trying to go for speed. You've got Kimball McKenzie out there running circles around ball screens, but more importantly, is bringing the bigs away from the basket. But credit to Leicester, they are fighting with Jameson and trying to keep him off the boards.
Well, don't forget, more action coming up this weekend on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. Plymouth City Patriots and Bristol Flyers. That game tomorrow at 5 o'clock, followed by the Manchester Giants against the Leicester Riders in a doubleheader back-to-back for Rob Paternostro and his team. Nice pass. And because Hunt sort of bobbled it, Asbury commits a foul, but that's a good finish from the big Kiwi.
But again, what that does, that builds confidence for Hunt. If you give the big man the ball in the post, those are more options you can go to. But again, more importantly, he's got the foul, he's going to the free throw line.
Second personal foul on Asbury. And Hunt converts the three-point play. So out of that timeout, they've got the lead down to 5. McKenzie feeding it into Bridges, and Bridges, that's good low post play.
We thought the mismatch was going to be TJ Law against Hunt on the perimeter, but you can see Bridges. That's something James has got to take a little bit more pride in, stopping him from getting that seal-off.
Here's Robinson, sits on the shot clock, around the high screen. Kicked out to Steele, fires up again. This one's off the mark. It's batted out though by Hunt. Robinson says thank you very much, but he doesn't get the three. There's Steele now on the glass, blocked by Bridges. They still have it, still can't score. Well, Surrey had 4 goes at it, but couldn't convert. Oh, Lowell, easy lane to the basket, and he jams it home.
Again, it's a scramble for Surrey Scorchers transition defense, but going back to the previous play, Dan, credit to them for coming off of offensive rebounds, but a little bit of luck needs to go in their favor.
Well, that was the worst outcome possible because they should have got 2, and in the end they gave up a poor baseline drive, and Lowell got points for the Riders instead. Shot clock. Robinson needs to get it up here. Robinson gets it away in time, and tough finish from Justin Robinson.
But Dan, how hard did they have to work for that play? Because if you see when Jameson had the post up, Robinson makes a cut in the paint, he's wide open. You got to be aware of these things.
The pass doesn't reach Bridges, and Hunt keeps it in play. Good work. Lawrence round the screen, fires the 3. There's Steele again. They're still crushing the boards here, Surrey. Nice pass and the two-handed throwdown from Saquon Jameson. Mackenzie's on the floor. There's a couple of bodies down. And 4:14 on the clock here in the second quarter. And while the physios check out Hunt and Mackenzie, it is 42-37 here at the Morningside Arena. And we'll be right back after this break.
You put the work in, everyone knows you deserve it. They must be blind like curtains, certain anything you got, you've earned it. Sky is the limit, it's reachable. Just jump high, it's achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable.
Couple minutes, gotta score. Every time they wanna clash, the winners kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stop, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I'm unbeatable, yeah. I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable, yeah. I'm unbeatable.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops, my man.
Well, welcome back to Leicester. It's Lloyd Gardner and it's Surrey Scorchers with a little work to do. They're down by 5. Hunt has been getting some treatment during that timeout and has now gone to the bench. Mackenzie, as you can see, who was also on the floor for Leicester, is back out there and okay. Oh, they've lost Thomas. And he probably made that harder than it needed to be.
I was just about to say, he was wide open at the high post. He didn't stay there. But again, I think he was gifted. It was such a wide open. I don't think he realized how wide open he was.
Robertson has the mismatch with Bridges. Kicked out to Gooden. Gooden now has Bridges in front of him, trying to go to work. Gets him up in the air, but Thomas is there to throw it out. 2 on the shot clock for the Scorchers.
There's not a lot of movement in the Scorchers offense there. There's a lot of reliance on the individual, one-on-one play from the backcourt players. And it's just too easy for the Leicester Riders defense. Anybody can come over and help in that case.
Steele gets it. Does he see the shot clock? He doesn't. Nobody sees it, and it's too late. Well, that's just really poor recognition. On an out of bounds, somebody's got to see, even if it's somebody on the bench shouting in.
That's just basic leadership right there. You've got many players on the floor that can identify that, but a lack of communication. I mean, that's just back to basics.
Here's Mackenzie. Thomas with the handoff. Holmes looking to attack Jameson, getting all the way to the basket. Leaving it short though. Surrey have numbers here. Steele on the trail, puts it on the floor. Jameson has a mismatch and he takes full advantage.
Like what Surrey did on the previous defensive play. They switched on every single handoff and ball screen. It's a bit of a gamble, but it paid off. And again, credit to Jameson, more aggressive inside the paint.
Skip pass to Holmes. Thomas for 3, short. Long rebound, ends up in Surrey hands and Steele is pushing. Oh, and he threads the needle with the pass, but back out it comes to Josh Steele. Lowell with the rebound. Thomas has Steele on his back, goes right past him and lays it in.
Well, that's a mismatch they can't afford to have, but again, somebody's got to come over and set a double team or something.
Well, that's the thing you were talking about at the other end of the floor with Leicester, where the help has come and it was Thomas getting the block, but there was no help for Steele on that occasion. Gooden has room in the corner, nice feed. And there's Gooden's third offensive rebound of the game. And he leaves that short.
So I just feel if Jamison rolls a bit quicker on every ball screen, he's going to find himself wide open. It just takes too much time.
Well, that's a shot you have to knock down. Your teammate's got no chance of an offensive rebound. Here's Robinson off the glass. McKenzie comes away with it, has numbers, lobs it up. Holmes does the sensible thing, catch the ball, get your points.
Well, two rules of transition defense. Number one, you get back. Number two, you stop ball there. In that case, only one player was able to get back for the Surrey Scorchers.
I should imagine that is something that is going to be spoken about here in this timeout by Coach Lloyd Gardner, because Josh Steele is on his own. And say, it's good play from Holmes because the pass wasn't quite there. Some guys try and dunk it, rim check it, you lose the ball. He just made sure he came down with it and got the score, but he had the time to do that because the transition defense still wasn't back.
Well, Jameson made an error there. You know, at that point, Kimball McKenzie had the ball on the sideline. He's running to Kimball. You're not going to beat him on the sideline. You're going to commit a foul, which could lead to an unsportsmanlike foul. Get back inside the paint. If they had two players back then, they could have come up with a loose ball.
Well, 1:40 to go to halftime. Surrey trailing this one by 7. And one of the things, you know, when you're taking on Leicester is they have a lot of offensive weapons. You can hear Rob Paternostro saying huge part of the ball game right here. He knows if they finish this quarter, say 5-0, they get 2 scores or 3 scores without reply, they can go in with a double-figure lead and things will be looking really good for them.
Well, this is the point now. Surrey has to try and ride the storm. You're up against a team that has a very meticulous coach. It's a very set-oriented offense. You know, we talked about players in the past like Gino Crandall. Those are the kind of players that can play with outside the system because they have that talent. You look in this team, they need to be very collective and they need to play within the unit to, as you mentioned, build that lead going into halftime.
I always think in this sort of situation, put 5 points on either team and see what the difference is. 5 points to Leicester, they're up 12. 5 points to Surrey, and this is a one-shot game.
Well, Surrey's got to identify what works with them best. Keep going to that pick-and-roll option. But at the moment, whoever's got the ball in their hands, come off those ball screens aggressively. Really make the defense work and get those switches so you get some high-percentage looks on the perimeter.
Lawrence back to Robinson. Robinson putting it on the floor. Bailey in the corner. Again, they're late in the shot clock. He's trying to find some room. Jamison fighting for the rebound. And the foul is caught. I think it's gone against Lowell.
So that's a nice play there. Good penetration, but, you know, a tough shot. But if they notice, there was a wide-open Josh Steele on the perimeter. Here's a penetration right there. That's the kind of shot you want to go for. Get Josh Steele wide open. That's going to get you maybe back within 4 points.
Oh, 28% to 48%. In some ways, you're lucky to only be down 7 when there's 20 percentage points between the two teams. Well, Saquon Jamison, in his, not a massive sample size, but in his 2 spells with Surrey Scorchers, he's a low 60s, 63% career free throw shooter. And he goes 1 for 2. Thomas. McKenzie top of the key, and he's just automatic.
But Dad, you see how quickly he curls the screen, takes one dribble. There's no one around him. It's just too easy. This is where Surrey need to be a little bit more compact in the man-to-man defense.
Jamison trying to move Adowa. It's not easy, and he comes up with nothing. McKenzie and Holmes almost getting each other's way. Holmes step back, strings the 3.
Again, who's to start with? Kimball McKenzie gets it, penetrates, draws the defense, and again, you have another high percentage look from the perimeter.
Well, it wasn't quite the 5-0 I said, but it is 5-1. Make that 5-3 since that timeout as Lawrence gets 2 back, but Leicester will get the last shot of the first half with a chance to make it a double-figure lead. Robinson pressuring McKenzie, pressuring him a little too hard, but they had fouls to give. Having got into the bonus really early in the first quarter, that's actually their first foul of the second quarter, sorry.
That's not a bad foul to give away at all, of course. I mean, the most dangerous player right now for the Leicester Riders is Kimball McKenzie, because whenever he has the ball, anybody in help side defense, you know, they have their eyes on him. So committing that foul is not a problem. At the moment, you know, they want to make sure they come up with a stop him. Don't let this become a double-digit lead going into the second half.
It's into McKenzie. He drives to the basket, gets all the way to the rim, leaves it a bit short, and that will do it for the first half here at the Morningside Arena. Pretty tight through the opening 10 minutes, but Leicester have built themselves a little bit of a lead here. 51-42 at the interval. We'll be right back after this break.
Just can't get it, but another offensive ball, but just fumbling it. Lions come up with it. Well, look out below. Shover at Lions. Well, we have takeoff. Elvis has left the building.
McKenzie now looking for Idowu. In fact, he sees a gap and sees some room, and he was fading away and moving away from the basket. Nice save there from McGill. Hustle play, Jordan Johnson, Josh Ward-Hibbert, they need it, and the Newcastle Eagles have it.
Wow, it starts with Ricky McGill. An athletic, emphatic play to keep the ball in bounds, and then Josh Ward-Hibbert runs the floor like all good wings should, confidently knocks it down.
And a throwdown. Oh my goodness. Caught that with one hand, and Wayne just threw it down hard.
Another pump fake for him. He's got lots of room, Johnson. Oh, Taj Green. Hello.
Just followed his point guard and smashed the ball in before anyone else could react.
Jordan Johnson gets in, puts the kernel in the pot. Taj Green, kaboom! Jaron Holmes, one-on-one with Defoe and swiped away by Taj Green. Now they're pushing forward. McGill! Oh, what a block! Caleb Asprey, lock and key.
This is a basket-saving block. Asbury comes across clean as you like. Oh.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Welcome back to the British Basketball League here. Daniel Rutledge and Josh Bett with you. Josh, Leicester just getting away from Surrey at the end of that first half. That'll be a concern for Lloyd.
Well, I think the biggest difference in this game has been Kimball McKenzie. So far, 4 field goals with inside the rainbow, but it's the damage he does to all their help side defenders. Anytime he breaks down the defense, at that point, it becomes a Surrey scramble for them.
Some great points off the bench from Kimball. Let's take a look at the numbers from that first half. And Josh, one of the things we've been talking all game about is kind of massing the total rebounds, but the amount of offensive rebounds. Surrey have 15 of them, but only 7 second chance points. Leicester have 7 of them, and they've got 8 second chance points.
Well, I think Leicester's done a better job of getting out in transition as well. But, you know, one thing Surrey needs to do a much better job is defending their paint. There you can see already 14 field goals with inside the three-point line. A lot of those have come in transition, but also, as you mentioned, it's just getting the ball inside the paint that's been too easy for the Riders.
Well, yeah, it has. And as we look back at the first half, I'm sure we'll see a lot of that at the basket. Some of it they've got to the free throw line, but some of it they have been finishing both in transition and in the half court. This is what Surrey do. They came out early, they were firing threes, and they were knocking them down in the early stages.
Well, you mentioned as well, you know, they're second in the league in three-point attempts, just behind the Cheshire Phoenix. But that's what I'm talking about right there. Just how easy is it to penetrate against a Surrey defense and get inside the key?
And the other thing that might be a little bit of a concern as far as Surrey are concerned, we haven't seen a lot of Pinson, we haven't seen a lot of Asbury. They're 0 for 5 combined. Those two guys are certainly capable of scoring. We saw it at Newcastle last week. If they catch fire, it's going to be bad news for the Scorchers.
Well, you look at Leicester's lineup so far since their opening defeat against Cheshire Phoenix. 4 players averaging double figures, 2 players also near to that. There's a lot of options. This is a very tough place to come and play on the road, Dan.
Well, the other thing about Surrey is actually they've got quite a bit out of their bench. Maybe they need a bit more from the starting 5. They've got 20 points off the bench already in that first half.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there. But yeah, I think right now, it isn't a must win right now. We're still early in the season for the Scorchers, but what Lloyd Gardner needs to figure out, you know, he is one of the best coaches you're going to find in Bruges Basel. He needs to find the right 5 that are going to come out game and game after night. It's going to be the toughest for him.
And I guess one of the things he's got the challenge, he's got some new players in, he's got some returning players as well, but he has got quite a deep bench. He's got a lot of combinations to work with, Lloyd, and it's finding who works best with who.
Yeah, I've known Lloyd a very, very long time, and he is probably one of the best basketball minds. I mean, he knows the game so well. He's still a very young coach, you know, a very heavy guard-oriented team. And sometimes you do see Padilla Wang playing the power forward role. They've gone with a bigger lineup so far here tonight, but I just think for the balance in their offense, they need more input from the bigs. Hunt and Jameson, they got to get into double figures if they're going to have a chance of winning this game.
Well, they certainly need to start the second half well, because these Riders fans have been enjoying life so far. Well, Riders leading 51 points to 42 at the half here. We've got our halftime package for you, starting off with highlights from last night's game between Caledonia and Plymouth.
Splits down the lane and lays it up and in. We pass the midway point of this first quarter. Great pass, and Wiley finishes. Shot clock's down to 5 here. DeBose has to shoot for 3 and knocks it down. Wheeler, oh, nice pass. A great defensive effort on the defensive end for Plymouth.
Wow, great pass, but even better defense.
Oh my goodness! That one would have been a highlight reel. Well, Moore blows the dunk at the other end, and now here's Johnson open for 3, and Johnson knocks it down. Down inside to Moore, just trickles away from him, and first one on the floor is Mason Faulkner. Oh, it's given back to DeBose, and DeBose drains it. And you feel momentum just shifting in Caledonia's favour. Another 3 drops for Pat Whelan.
Wow, what a turn of events here for Caledonia.
Here's Faulkner. Oh, it's stolen away by DeBose, and Ian DeBose jams it in. No good on the triple. It's a Hail Mary pass out to DeBose. DeBose, corner 3 ball, knocks it down.
Unreal play from DeBose there.
Out to Whelan in the corner. Everything but dropped through the net on that occasion. Second chance opportunity for Caledonia. Buttrick 3 drains it. Johnson the other way. Strong move by Taylor Johnson. Shot clock winding down, and DeBose's mid-range 2 is off, but stolen away. And now here's Atwood, open in transition, and flushes it home. Dusha, corner 3 ball on the way. Can't convert from deep, and Caledonia have numbers here, and here's Prince Onwas!
Big throwdown from the big man, Prince.
Well saved by the Gladiators. Pat Whelan off the glass and in. Drives inside. And Caledonia gather the rebound, and that will do it over the Plymouth City Patriots. 99 points to 83. Skylar White does well to keep the ball from going out of play.
Still got the rebound, he passed it to me. So me and Ethan, as he was running down the court, we was making like eye connection, like, I'm like, go, go, go. Then I put it between my legs, and then I'm just like, keep going, bro. I'm gonna get it to you. So you just run it. So then boom, put it between my legs and just threw it. Then I just added no look to it. No, it's just all instinct, pretty much. I just do it, and if it works, and go from there. My name is Leicester Riders. I play for Surrey Phoenix. I'm the point guard. The journey has been great. Like the first week, we all was hanging out, and we all like got used to each other. So then we get into practice, and we clicked so well because none of us are selfish. We all want to see each other win, and it's like crazy how we all click so well. And now we like playing our best basketball together. Jazz music is it keeps you calm. I would say it keeps you calm and helps you find that rhythm that you're looking for. And you know the term I have the dog in me. That's me, honestly. Like I won't back down from anybody. Never been, never will. And don't plan on doing it. So I'll just say I had a dog in me.
Cheshire leaking out in transition, and a fast break jam for the Knicks, and early 4-0 run for them.
To do an assist, I would say I would prefer doing an assist than scoring, because that makes me feel like I'm getting my teammates involved. That's the thing about being a point guard, is like getting your teammates involved and keeping them happy and making yourself happy as well. My play style is about risk and reward, so it's like, what's the point of like playing if you're not gonna take that risk? Because the risk is always gonna be with a bigger reward. Russell Westbrook, you know, he's like a big risk reward player, and that's who I would say I look up to right now, is Russell Westbrook, and that's where I get my creativity from. I want to be the best version of me at the end of the season, and team standpoint, the goal coming out here is to win and make a connection with my teammates and make brotherhood. The goal is to win.
Just can't get it, but another offensive board, but just fumbling it. Lions come up with it. Well, look out below. Shover at Lions. Well, we have takeoff. Elvis has left the building.
McKenzie now looking for Idowu. In fact, he sees a gap and sees some room, and he was fading away and moving away from the basket. Nice save there from McGill. Hustle play, Jordan Johnson, Josh Ward-Hibbert, they need it, and the Newcastle Eagles have it.
Wow, it starts with Ricky McGill. Athletic, emphatic play to keep the ball in bounds, and then Josh Ward-Hibbert runs the floor like all good wings should, confidently knocks it down.
And a throwdown. Oh my goodness. Caught that with one hand, and Wayne just threw it down hard.
Another pump fake for him. He's got lots of room, Johnson. Oh, Taj Green. Hello.
Just followed his point guard and smashed the ball in before anyone else could react.
Jordan Johnson gets in, puts the kernel in the pot. Taj Green, kaboom! Jaron Holmes, one-on-one with Defoe and swiped away by Taj Green. Now they're pushing forward. McGill! Oh, what a block! Caleb Asprey, lock and key.
This is a basket-saving block. Asprey comes across clean as you like.
Let's take the stage higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places that never been. We go higher, no stop. Take it to the top, even when a ball drops. My man.
Welcome back to Leicester, where the Riders are on top at the moment, 51-42. Reminder of all of the action in the British Basketball League this week. Good win for Caledonia, making it 2 for 2 in their new home in East Kilbride. London are up 8, and that's just about half time at the Copper Box in that one. 2 games on Saturday and Sunday. Plymouth and Bristol, the Southwest Derby, part 3. Leicester in their doubleheader go to Manchester, and then Sheffield in their new building taking on Caledonia at 3 p.m. on Sunday. Cheshire hosting Manchester in the Northwest Derby on Sunday night at 6 p.m. And if that's not enough for you, we've got a Monday night game as well. London Lions and Newcastle Eagles, 7:30. Make sure you hit the subscribe on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. That is the way to make sure you stay on top of all of the action. And there's a lot going on this weekend, Josh, but one guy who started it really well, Kimball McKenzie.
Well, this is where they've been able to turn things around. I mean, Leicester, it's the old cliche, it's a team game. We talked about the Xavier Pitts, and we've also mentioned Braylon Bridges, but it's the guy coming off the bench that's been the X factor. 4 field goals with inside the rainbow. It's just how effectively he's able to make the defense really worry, which has also led to other players being wide open. Credit to how quickly this man pushed the tempo in transition.
And at the other end of the floor, we talk about Jameson's rebounding a lot, but he's actually got 11 points. He's the leading scorer for the Scorchers.
Well, again, I did say he's not the foundation big man, and he went right to work on the previous play, but I want to see more of that. Give the Scorchers a bit of balance in their offense.
Back underway here at the Morningside Arena in Leicester. Well, Surrey looking to do something they've never done here before, and that's win a game. They were the first team to come to the Morningside Arena when it was built. They were unable to come out with that. It's going to be an offensive foul on Pinson. Had a little push off, and that's going to be his 3rd personal foul. He's not really got into the rhythm of the game. We were talking him up at the beginning of the game, but a little bit of foul trouble. Hasn't made a shot. Not really been his night yet.
Well, he's struggling against the smaller backcourt of the Scorchers, but, you know, as you said, it could be a matter of time before he gets in this game, but you know, this is the frustrating part about Surrey. You know, you do a good job on defense. You've got to make something work on offense to kind of build your confidence and assert yourself back into this game.
Well, just watch his feet here. Little hop, skip, and a jump, and still going. I mean, what's he thinking? It's just a blatant travel.
Travel cards don't work up in the East Midlands, Dan.
Well, the name Riders does come from the old Leicester City bus. He could have done with a bus pass there, the way he was moving about the court.
That's better from Jameson there, trying to make the post-entry pass a little bit more difficult. You know, we talk about how he's been a good scoring threat, but it's plays like that that Surrey need to keep coming up with loose balls.
I think he might have dragged his back foot there as well, Mohammed, but he gets away with it this time. That's a high pass for Steele. He's done well to keep it in play, but in order to escape, he had to step on the line.
Well, it's back-to-back turnovers now for the Scorchers, and again, they must rely on their defense, because one thing you don't want to allow is Leicester to make this a double-digit deficit. Defense has got to be the pedigree now for the Scorchers.
Pinson, a little hesitation, gets in deep. Ball comes back out to Holmes. Under pressure from the free throw line off the mark.
That's good defense by Josh Steele, forcing him into a high contested shot.
Well, 0-0 here in the third quarter. Well, Asbury is called for his 3rd foul. So Asbury and Pinson have 6 fouls between them, but only 4 points, and not even 5 shot attempts between them.
Again, it's a tough one there, because I did feel that Jameson maybe did move on the screen, but, you know, again, 3rd personal foul for Asbury. He's got to try and find some rhythm here.
Still, oh, it's a good. Oh, he's kept it in. Jameson looked like he'd lost the ball out of bounds, but he ran out of room, and Bridges says, I'll have that.
Jameson's got to be ready to receive the ball. That's a good build-up, and he's got to finish that one.
They're trying to get it to Bridges. Jameson is live to it. I think that came off the Leicester man last. Well, the 2 referees pointing in opposite directions.
That's Surrey ball.
I agree with you. I think it was. They're going to chat it over. Let's see. He gets the hand on it there. Ooh, I'm not sure now. Well, maybe it did come off Jameson. That's the decision that the referees have come to, so it is a Leicester ball.
Again, I like what Jameson's doing there, making it very tough for Leicester to get the ball in the paint.
Foul called on Gooden.
You know, Surrey need to be careful. I mean, it's only their first team foul of the third quarter, nothing to be, you know, too concerned of. But, you know, Gooden's trying to be more aggressive there. But once the ball's on the floor, you don't want to pick up those silly fouls because, you know, you want to give yourself a chance to come up with a loose ball.
Pinson offered the high screen. Holmes putting it on the floor, trying to muscle his way to the basket. Just a little strong. Mohammed gets a hand on it. Surrey come away. Here he is running the floor. And he's missed it, but it's tipped and not finished. A couple of opportunities there for Surrey, but they will go to the line.
But Dan, that's a positive sign for the Scorchers because the first time we've really seen them have, that's a go-off. Sublime pass coming from Justin Robinson. But how many times have we seen Surrey really try to get out in transition to get some fast break points?
Well, they've got a chance here from the free throw line to get the first score of the third quarter. We're still at the halftime score, over 2 minutes gone. Neither team able to get on the board. Somebody nudged the scorekeeper there. Just check they're still awake there. Something to do. As Gooden makes both from the foul line. Referee just stopping the play. One of the advertising boards in the corner is collapsed.
The old toy factory as well. They're not going to be too pleased. That's a very old shop as well, isn't it?
If that apparently the place to buy your old-fashioned toys, Josh, if that's your thing.
Hey, I'm 33.
So it's probably right in your wheel. You're probably their target market.
I don't expose myself too much there, of course.
Holmes in the corner, knocks down the triple, and Leicester's lead is out to 10. Steele got bumped. Will that count? Yes, it will. Basket good for Josh Steele, and a bonus free throw come in.
Well, I think he fell asleep on the defense down the other end, but you like this. I mean, that's one thing Surrey's got to try and do. Get more points inside the paint. We know they're a perimeter shooting team, but if you can try to make the defense go against their game plan, you can make them fall off a little bit.
Well, Steele was 1 of 5 from the three-point line in the first half, but he's got a chance to add 3 points to his name here the old-fashioned way.
Surrey could have gone 4 defensive possessions, stopping Leicester from getting a field goal. How easy was it for Bridges to go baseline, come off the screen? But they cannot give the Riders too many wide-open looks.
Well, they both hit 5, but you can see Surrey needed 9 more to hit those 5. Pinson rocking and rolling. Trying to, I think, draw some contact. Misses everything on the shot. Is that going to be an offensive foul? Yes, it is. As Thomas stood there for a long time waiting for Robinson, and the charge is called.
So I think Robinson's trying to go around him. I mean, how much... That's a tough one, though. I'm going to have to speak to my friend Richard Stokes.
Well, I think by the letter of the rule, it's enough of a contact for it to be a charge. But as you say, it's one of those where you sort of go, did it really impact massively on the play? Third personal on Robinson. Well, that was the right option, but not the right execution. Holmes just needed to throw a bit higher that. Mohammed wants it down on the low post. Pinson on his back. Well, he can't get past him. Pinson did a good job. That will be kept in play by Thomas.
So the previous play was phenomenal by Shaquan Jameson, aggressively coming off the ball screen, forced that turnover, but that's where Surrey's got to take advantage now. Try to get something to chip into the deficit.
Gooden has the lane to the basket, but Asbury made it difficult. Whoa, that was almost a travel. Nice pass in the end. Well, they got 2 points out of what could have been a turnover.
Well, that previous play, they couldn't have the ball very awkwardly, but I think what he was waiting for was Mohammed just to roll to the basket. It's these little things that Scorchers need to identify.
Gooden gets into the paint. kicks it back out. Mohammed for three, off the mark. Asbury doing well there. That could have been an easy putback for Steele, but he beat him to the ball. Pinson, they go under the screen, so he shoots the three. He's still struggling. He had to make a field goal. Robinson. Oh, halfway down, but just out for Justin Robinson.
Well, now you can see no identity here for the Scorchers. Nobody crashing the offensive rebound, something they did a good job of in the first half.
Holmes strings a three. His fourth one of the game. He's 4 of 4.
Well, the alarm bell should be ringing now for the Scorchers. He's made 4 for 4 for the perimeter. How much time and space are you going to give him, Dan?
Well, a little less than that would be my answer. Here's Robinson. Jameson with the mid-range, and nobody anywhere near it for Surrey for the offensive rebound, just to your point. Here he is going to the basket this time, Holmes, but he has missed from 2-point range. He needs to stay out on that 3-point line. Steele in transition, forced to rearrange.
It's a disappointing play there for the Scorchers. Good at trying to push the tempo. Only Josh Steele running with him. There's a bit of mental fatigue going on. You can see anxiety with the Scorchers. Maybe just need a bit of a break at the moment.
Pinson gets his own rebound, shovels it on, and Bridges with the easy convert. He only makes layups. But boy, it's effective. He's now 9 for 9 in the last game and 3 quarters. Good and looking for room. It's all very one-on-one, and it's stolen away by Thomas. He finds Holmes. He still can't convert. He can only score 3s. Asbury, he's off the mark.
Well, so as you mentioned, very guard-oriented offense at the moment. You know, Coach Gardner getting ready to make a triple change, bringing Hunt and Teo Gandemi back in the lineup, but they need something inside the paint. Get the ball inside to the post.
Well, Holmes gets into the paint and throws it away. Holmes runs it back, and he's blocked. And, well, he is 1 for 9 for 2, but 4 for 4 from 3. 3:17 to go here at the Morningside Arena. Leicester leads 61-47. We'll be back after this break.
You put the work in, everyone knows you deserve it. They must be blind like curtains, certain. Anything you got, you've earned it. Sky's the limit, it's reachable. Just jump high, it's achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable.
I'm unbeatable. Couple minutes, gotta score. Every time they wanna clash, the winner's kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stop, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Welcome back to Leicester. Lloyd Gardner, the jacket's off. He's trying to get something going for his team here, trailing by 14. Asbury into the rim and just squeezes that home. That is the first field goal by either Asbury or Pinson in the game. They've been a combined 0 for 10, the Riders starting backcourt.
Well, there's no collapse on the defense there, no help side, but sorry at the moment, you got to ask the question, Dan, where is it all going to start to come together?
Well, we've obviously had a rough few years, and they're trying to shake that off this year. They've been close at home, but it's not looking great here on the road.
It's a 5-player change they've gone with now. They don't really have a natural center out there at the moment. I mean, no Hunt, no Jameson, but it's going to be interesting to see how they go up against a size mismatch.
Well, we're assuming that Hunt is unable to return after that injury he picked up in the second quarter, because we would have seen, as you said earlier, there he is. He's been rotating in and out for Jameson, and now Jameson has gone out. It's a very small lineup. Wang with the steal. I'm trying to work out, is Teo playing the 5? I'm not sure who's playing center. Doe with the rebound, and that's knocked away by Cooper for a, by Bailey, sorry, for a Riders ball.
So I don't have a problem with that three-pointer by Andrew Lawrence. It's wide open, it's in transition. The only problem is you come up with a steal, it's a 4-on-1 in transition. You got to take advantage of those.
Backdoor is Asbury trying to find McKenzie, and it's deflected over his head for a Leicester possession. Well, McKenzie had an excellent first half, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists off the bench. There's a +12 at halftime. Looking to add to that here. Out to Thomas. Back iron for the 3. Surrey again with numbers, 3-on-2. Wang looking to attack. Kicks to the corner, Leicester recover. Lawrence round the high screen, getting all the way to the basket. Vintage Andrew Lawrence.
But again, Dan, go back. They come up with a steal. They have a 3-on-2. It's a great penetration. You got to ask the question. Everything is becoming perimeter base for the Scorchers.
Good hands. Lawrence knocking it away. He's out in front. Adowa will chase him down, but he won't catch him up. And Andrew Lawrence trying to pull his team back into this game.
There's a 4-0 run there. They've got to build some confidence. Can they get it to single digits going into the fourth quarter? That's got to be the victory within the game they've got to get now.
Oh, that's a bit of a grab there from Bailey. You've got to be careful with that sort of thing. We've seen this year there, well, certainly in recent years, it doesn't look as bad from that angle, but from the other angle, his arm is around the back. We've seen referees say, well, actually, on the drive, if you're not wrapped up properly, if you wrap somebody up like that, just to stop them scoring, it can be punished a bit more.
Well, Dan, you cover a lot of EuroLeague, Eurocup basketball. I'm always covering basketball Champions League. I got to tell you right now, in the BCL, quite often you would see that upgraded to an unsportsmanlike.
Well, Kimball McKenzie, I mentioned it earlier, his free throw shooting prowess. His career coming into this game, he was at 218 in terms of the number of free throws he's taken. He's added another, 4 today. 250 is the mark to get into the all-time rankings. So he's less than 30 free throws away. And as I say, his current percentage is enough to be #1 in British Basketball League history. Cooper off the mark. Bailey has it knocked away by McKenzie. Trying to find room.
Wide open in the corner.
Kick it out.
Again, if you are a perimeter-based shooting team, you want to go for high percentage look. And again, Lawrence puts his hands up. I'm wide open.
Particularly with this lineup. I mean, it is a perimeter-based shooting lineup. They don't have the big guy clogging the middle up. Here's Wang. Out to Ogundenbi. It's all penetrating kick at the minute. Lawrence going to the rim, and Lawrence is the one guy able to get to the rim.
Well, twice now he's made those sublime penetrations, but again, you talk about being perimeter based. Nice penetration. Look at them, he's wide open on the perimeter. Hey, take that shot. That's what you do. You're good at that.
Well, Leicester ticking it down to end this third quarter. And he's going to be fouled. That's only the 4th on the team. So it'll be a sideline ball. That one attributed to Wang, I think, so it's his 3rd. 2.8 all into the game as a three-point shooting option. They can all shoot threes out there. It's usually Mackenzie who gets the ball. It is Mackenzie who gets in, takes it to the rim, and is fouled on the buzzer. And Kimball Mackenzie will shoot 2 free throws before we get to the end of this quarter.
But Dan, you know, the worrying thing for me is, you know, he was the X factor in the first half that really enabled the Riders to build that 9-point cushion. As soon as he gets the ball, you see right away, splits down the defense. Defensively, as Scorchers players, you got to come to to a realization. You got to stop him from getting the ball in his hands.
I think the clock for the third quarter, for the quarter break, had started before the, or after the foul is called, obviously, otherwise it wouldn't be 2 free throws. So they have to go back and put whatever the referee deems was left on the clock. Put 1 second on for now. I don't think it'd be that much. We'll go down to 0.3. Always wonder how they come up with that figure. How the benefit of replay.
How close is he now?
Well, he's 5 for 5. He's not going to do it today, but he is going to do it in the next, you would imagine, 6 or 7 games, maybe a bit more than that. And that will do it for a third quarter where the Leicester Riders have extended their lead. We will go into the fourth with the score 67-53, and that will be right after this break.
One hand, and Wayne just threw it down hard.
Another pump fake for him. He's got lots of room, Johnson. Oh, Taj Green! Hello!
Just followed his point guard and smashed the ball in before anyone else could react.
Jordan Johnson gets in, puts the kernel in the pot. Taj Green, kaboom! Jaron Holmes, one-on-one with Defoe and swiped away by Taj Green. Now they're pushing forward. McGill! Oh, what a block! Caleb Asprey, lock and key.
This is a basket-saving block. Asprey comes across clean as you like off the backboard.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, no stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops. My man.
Welcome back to the Morningside Arena. And Leicester have got the pressure on here. Surrey get it in time. Well, a familiar story for the Scorchers taking on the Riders. Have they got a fourth quarter charge in them? Saw them last week at home, able to close it down against Cheshire. Couldn't quite get over the line, had a shot to force overtime, rim out on the buzzer.
Well, one positive the Scorchers can take from the latter stage of the third quarter is coming up with quite a few steals. But again, if they're going to get back in this game, they've got to force Leicester to turn the ball over.
Dowu sizing up his man with the shot clock ticking down. Looking to get to the basket. Oh, good finish.
At that point there, somebody's got a clogged lane. Again, you can see, same story. Leicester getting inside the Scorchers' paint at that point. Now it's a three-point play.
Well, you could see when a guy like that backs away, he's going, I'm going here. I've got this matchup. And more often than not, when you believe you're going to beat the man, you beat the man.
Well, the closest player to come out and probably potentially take a charge is Teo. Next player after that is probably Quinn. I mean, Quinn's got to, again, help the helper. But this is something Surrey collectively after the team have to develop themselves.
Well, only the second missed free throw of the game for Leicester. They were 15 of 16 before that. Here's Teo Ogundengbe doing what he does, hitting the three.
It just keeps them emotionally in this game. It's only a 13-point deficit, but again, it's got to be defensively here for the Scorchers.
And Leicester respond with another three.
So I'm imagining they went to a high 3-2 zone there. But Dan, it's the same question. How much time in the world did Connor Washington have?
And again, he's another one whose career three-point shooting percentage in the British Basketball League is amongst the very best. He and Robinson both up around 40%. I thought another one was going up there from Connor Washington. Madowo off the mark. That was a bit of a heat check. Lawrence kicks it back to Bailey, who strings the three.
Almost back-to-back three-pointers from that. I was a bit skeptical of the pick and roll there because the screen was set so low, but you know what they had in their mind, it was going to be a pick and pop. Again, it's got to be the defense now. They got to come up with loose balls.
Well, both teams have made 7 three-pointers. It's just taken Surrey 10 more attempts. 9 now as Wang comes away with it. Batted up in the air, but it falls very nicely to Bailey, who gets 2.
That's a little bit of luck there for Surrey, but again, you know, they had it wasn't necessarily numbers in transition, but they came up with a fumble. But it's plays like that they got to build a confidence on. A 5-0 run, this is a positive start for Lloyd Gardner's players.
And consequently, Rob Paternostro is going to call a halt to proceedings just to pull things back. He's not a guy who calls a lot of timeouts, Rob. He normally lets his team figure it out, but doesn't want this to get any closer.
Oh, he's a very experienced coach, of course. He knows what he's doing.
Well, that's the thing. Well, where is Wang on that defense, by the way? This is Connor Washington. It's not a guy you don't expect to shoot a 3.
Are you ready? So still standing here. 3, 2, 1. Kimball here. Reese for Kimball. Come on, Sam. Come on, Sam. The ball. 3, 2, 1. Come on, defense. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Don't forget, you can keep on top of everything going on in the British Basketball League by watching Inside the Paint. And make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you get a notification of all that is going on the YouTube channel as the two teams make their way back out onto court. You see, pretty much saw the board there. It's a play for Kimball McKenzie. Let's see if they can execute it. Well, Thomas just goes on his own. Sometimes you go with what the defense gives you. And that foul is on the floor, so it'll be an end-line ball.
Hey, you talk about that 5-0 run there for the Scorchers, but again, how easy, as we said, Riders players getting the balls into dangerous places. Again, it's a high post. You've got to make it a little bit more tough there. The only player that's made it very tough on the defense is Saquon Jameson.
Well, here's McKenzie. We've seen this out-of-bounds play so many times over the last few years for the Leicester Riders, and it almost always has that result. McKenzie, swish.
That's unguardable, Dan. How quickly he moved off the ball screen. Phenomenal play there by Kimball McKenzie.
Lawrence drawing the foul and will go to the free throw line. He's been the most aggressive player for the Scorchers in terms of taking it to the basket. Sometimes he scores, sometimes he gets to the free throw line. Well, Must have decided he passed that because I thought he was shooting.
I think he should be going to the free throw line for that one.
And they get nothing as a result. I, like you, initially thought that was going to be 2 free throws. McKenzie out to Thomas. A lot of time and space, and he'll string it.
It's a tough play there from the previous offense by the Scorch. But yeah, I'm pretty sure what Lloyd Gardner said, let's keep going to that pick-and-pop action with either Bailey, which you're going to see right now, or with Teo Ogundembe.
Lawrence, little hesitation. Kicks to the corner. Cooper off the mark. And Dowu with the rebound. McKenzie, another open 3. Law with it. And he knocks it down. Back-to-back from Leicester. From behind the arc. And suddenly the lead looks very comfortable for them.
Well, that's what happens. You get inside the paint, Dan. Kimball McKenzie entering the Scorchers' paint. The entire defense collapsed. What happens? You get a wide-open shooter from the perimeter.
On the previous play, it was Thomas open for 3. This time, it is Law open for 3. And Leicester don't take as many threes as Surrey, but they are more efficient when they do. And they knock them down at a much better clip. High 30s. 38.5% on the season. They're right about that here with 9 of 22. And that is kind of the difference. 2 more makes for 8 less takes.
Goes back to that penetration by Andrew Lawrence. You know, personally, I felt he should have been going to the free throw line. You know, he could have made it a potential 11-point deficit. Now all of a sudden it turns into a 19-point deficit. The problem the Scorchers have, by allowing Leicester to easily get inside the paint and the defense collapsing, as I've already said, somebody then has to take the initiative of saying, help the helper. Okay, his man's gone to help, so I'm going to have to now play cat and mouse, so then go close out whoever has the wide open 3-pointer.
Well, 6:25 to go in this one, and Leicester Riders looking pretty comfortable.
Sign. I think Andrew Lawrence, and I'm just assuming that due to the injuries that he's had knee surgeries. He also had to recover from a pulmonary embolism. But one of the issues he has had is hamstring issues. And it did look like he was favoring one of his legs there.
Well, he's come out of the game. Rather reflective look on his face. His dad was a pretty good baller. Did you ever see Ronaldo play?
I actually had to play against Ronaldo when I was 14, 15, 16 when he was our coach when we were kids. So I definitely know how great he was.
Definitely could put the ball in the basket. Teo Ogundembe knocks down yet another 3-pointer. I think that might be number 450 for his career.
He loves that corner, doesn't he?
He loves the corner 3. It's been very kind to him over the years. Here's Thomas, a little short.
That's where they got to push now. Get something quick here.
Oh, he did push, but he lost the ball. Oh, I'm with Teo there. I thought that came off the Leicester defender last. Well, we've seen this over the last decade or so, an awful lot of times. Teo in the corner for 3. But they're going to need a lot more of them if they're going to find their way back into this game. McKenzie, he knocks down a triple.
Well, that's a tough one there, because what that does, any thought of making a comeback, it just drills your confidence back down. But a deep, deep shot by McKenzie.
19 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists off the bench for the Riders captain. They steal along the baseline. He's able to lay it home.
That's what they've missed in this game, just those kind of plays. Somebody from the backcourt to get inside the paint and really break the defense down.
Down to Adowu. He had to work quickly because he was in the paint for a little while. He still thought he was fouled, but the referee was happy with the defensive play. Teo backs out for a near side corner 3, and that one goes in.
Hey, he's got confidence right now. It's the 3rd one he's hit so far in the second half. Saquon Jameson did make a good post-up. That's a big 3-pointer.
McKenzie surveying his options, takes the three off the mark.
So they want to be quick now, get something in transition.
A little momentum here for the Scorchers if Wang can knock down this three, but it's over the top and out of bounds. Well, 83-69 the score here at the Morningside Arena. 4:08 remaining in the ball game. We'll be right back after this break.
You put the work in, everyone knows you deserve it. They must be blind like curtains, certain anything you got, you've earned it. Sky's the limit, it's reachable. Just jump high, it's achievable. Can't stop me, I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable.
Couple minutes, gotta score. Every time they wanna clash, the winner's kicking through the door. I am unbeatable. Chances running out of stop, and we're running out the clock. I fail once, never stop. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable. I am unbeatable, yeah. I am unbeatable.
Let's take this thing higher, higher than you ever been. Stand tall like Everest. I mean higher. You ain't gotta settle in. Go places they never been. We go higher, non-stop. Take it to the top, even when the ball drops, my man.
Welcome back to Leicester. Rob Paternostro and his Riders trying to maintain this winning run, having lost on the opening night. They've bounced back in fine style. And they're up 14 here. Thomas got a little bit of room, but didn't quite have the legs on that shot. Jameson doing a good job of getting his work done early, getting the position, and all Thomas could do is grab him from behind.
See, if I'm Surrey right now, I'm going to go back to another pick-and-pop action with Teo Gandembi. I mean, he's hit 3 threes so far, 2 in a row in his last 2 attempts, but go to what's working for you.
Well, Wang is going to the key. There he is. Oh, you set him up so nicely. He's got to knock that one down. McKenzie round the screen. Thomas comes back to the top of the key. It's going to be a kick ball against the Leicester man, so that'll give Surrey the ball back.
And Dan, I really like what Justin Robertson did there, because you can see Leicester were looking for that lob pass. Josh Steele's trying to front him. Justin Robertson was just playing cat and mouse between his man in the corner and also waiting for that sort of lob pass coming. So great defensive play there from Justin Robertson.
Just planted the seed of doubt in Thomas's mind as to whether to throw that pass or not, which was enough to eventually force the turnover. Steele round the screen. Fires up the three. It's off the mark. Jameson had the mismatch on the switch, so therefore was able to grab the rebound. It's only his 8th rebound of the game. A little down on numbers. And good numbers for a normal person, but a little down for him.
I think he'd be more disappointed didn't draw a foul on that play to get 2 players pulling him down.
Wang, shot clock getting low, so Wang fires up the 3 and it hits the bottom of the net. His first field goal of the game.
We got to get stops here on defense, but one thing, they're going to have to try and prevent this man from getting inside their paint.
McKenzie has the switch. Let's just get out of the way, let me go to work. Oh no, he passes it up. Lowell in the corner, Holmes. Well, that's his first missed 3 of the game. He was 4 of 4 before that. Thomas goes up and is fouled, and a little bit of chatter.
But Dan, what a great offense there from the Leicester Riders. You get 3 dribble handoffs, a ball screen, a penetration. What in the end? You get a wide open 3-pointer in the corner, and then it's rewarded by an offensive board. I mean, they're just a fabulous team to watch play.
It's a definite foul, and then there's just a little chit-chat between the players.
That's just another day at the office.
Yeah, nothing in that.
I mean, players get teed up these days for talking trash. That's why. That's part of the game. As long as what they're saying isn't, of course, any forms of hate speech or whatever. I mean, let them have a little bit of words with each other.
Thomas makes both from the foul line. He's just shy of a double-double. He's got the points, but he's 2 rebounds short. Heading towards the final 2 minutes. Justin Robinson, a long 2, back iron. McKenzie pulls in rebound number 6.
This is great composure here from Kimball McKenzie. Time is on this side. Not need to rush anything here. Wear the clock down.
Well, that's stolen away from McKenzie. And Robinson will run it back. We're inside the final 2 minutes of the game on the YouTube channel. There is a poll to pick your player of the game. Josh gets the ultimate decision, but you can sway his thinking on the YouTube channel by voting for who you want. The guy with the ball will be receiving a few votes, I should imagine.
Oh, it's a tough one, Dan. There were 2 players in this game, Holmes and that man there, Kimball McKenzie. But, you know, I'm going to give it a few more moments before I pick my final MVP.
Law driving through, nice pass, and Thomas cocks it back and flushes it.
That might be good night, Leicester. That one is for you by Thomas.
Wang trying to shake loose McKenzie, gets a little bit of room. It's off the mark. Tipped down off Jameson last for a Leicester ball.
Dan, one thing I have to credit Lloyd Gardner for, I mean, this is going to be another loss for them, but, you know, as we saw in the game against Cheshire, this is a team that when they are in the right mindset collectively, they are a very good defensive team that can force their opponents into turnovers, but they've got to convert these into victories at some point.
It doesn't look like it's going to be today, but as you say, there are spells. It's just got to be a 40-minute thing. Kimball McKenzie gets the roll. And the emphatic signal from him to say, count that one. He's past the 20-point mark and a chance to add to it from the foul line.
But what makes him such a great player is how quickly and stealth that he comes off these ball screens and the penetrations. He's just so ferocious and so aggressive. That's the difference in his game.
Good balance as well. You can see contacts there. He just sets himself, makes sure he's got a soft touch on it.
I was speaking to his former assistant coach of the Niagara River Lions, some big tall guy called Mick. He used to coach in the British Basketball League, and he told me today on the phone, if you take away the London Lions and all the other teams in the British Basketball League, Kimball McKenzie might be the very best 6th man in the British Basketball League.
Well, it's such a luxury to have a guy like that. With everything he does, to come off the bench, he could easily start, but what a luxury to have a guy running the bench unit who can score the way he scored today, can facilitate, always makes the smart read. Here's Wang. Back to Steele. Steele off the mark for 3. Jameson stepped on the line. It's going to be a turnover.
Oh, Jameson's not in the mood right now. I like that. But, you know, positives here for Surrey. You know, when Hunt went out of the game, we didn't see him. That really affected their impact. I mean, like, what I like about this team, there is a very, very quick backcourt, as we've mentioned defensively. But, you know, we saw a good input from him in the first half. If they can be more consistent, at some point they're going to start bringing more victories. But they have to do it at home. That's where they got to make a fortress for them this season.
Well, Zorba ringing around the Morningside Arena, as they love to do late in the game, particularly when they're winning. And Riders just ticking it down. They're going to have to take a shot because of the shot clock. In fact, they'll get to the foul line. Will that count? No, it won't. Waved off. So They'll still shoot 2 free throws because that's the 5th of the quarter on Surrey.
Yeah, he made a very good point about Kimball McKenzie as well, saying any other team, he probably might be, take away the Lions, of course, he might be the best player on that team. But this is a key thing about a team that still has championship DNA and championship aspirations. How many teams are going to be able to contest against Lions this year? And when one of your best players becomes a factor for you coming off the bench, it just goes to show what a great team they are. It was a tough game for them on the opening day against Cheshire Phoenix, but typical Rob Paternostre, very typical Leicester Riders. They've adapted and they seem to find a way to make themselves relevant again.
Well, Jameson stepped in the lane too soon there, so Lowell's getting that first free throw back. He still misses it though. Players are not allowed into the key until the ball has left the shooter's hands. And he goes 1 for 2 in the end. Well, Surrey looking for one final score here. Steele fires up the 3. It's off the mark. Adowa with the rebound, and a good night at the office for the Leicester Riders. They continue their domination of the Surrey Scorchers. 39 games against them without defeat. Rob Paternostre has been at the helm for all of them. And today, really, it was that spell in the second quarter. They just got a bit of daylight in the second half. They continued to build on that.
That's 4 wins in a row. It's a big, big boost for them. I mean, look at the last 2 seasons. They've lost key players, but as I said, I sound like a broken record. The thing about this team, coached by the great Rob Paternostre, they find a way to adapt. They always recruit the right players, but they recruit players who are very talented, but also know how to play their roles. Probably one of their best players is almost like a Theo Papaloukas. He's a point guard, and he comes off the bench, and that's Kimball McKenzie. And Dan, I got to tell you right now, there were 2 players I was looking at for the player of the game. At one point, I was thinking this man here, Jaron Holmes, was 4 for 4 from the perimeter. He missed one, sorry, in the end, but he had a great shooting night. But ultimately, the player of the game for me goes to that man who came off the bench. What a difference maker, game changer, the former Niagara River Lion, Kimball McKenzie.
22.7 of 10 shooting, 7 of 7 from the line, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. He was plus 14, so pretty much all of the good stuff happened when he was on the court. Kimball McKenzie, your player of the game. And the worrying thing for Surrey, obviously they've lost the game, but we also see Hunt with some crutches. Obviously that injury is a bit of an issue for them, and that might feed in to the games going forward.
Yeah, it's going to be very tough. I mean, look, Surrey's franchise has struggled in the last few seasons. And again, the thing is, when your team is winning, you're always highlighting how great the players are. When the teams are losing, sometimes you always look at the coach. Let me tell you something right now. Lloyd Gardner, it's a hell of a challenge for him, but if there's any coach that can turn this around, it's definitely for him. For me, personally, he's one of the best British coaches that we have here in the British Basketball League.
Well, Thomas enjoying himself on court. The rest of his team stretching down, because, of course, they go again tomorrow against the Manchester Giants. So you've got to get the body right. Let's have a look at the numbers. Really, I mean, it's a simple game. If you put the ball in the basket more times than they do, you're going to win. And if you look at the numbers, Leicester scored 6 more 2-point field goals. They made the same number of threes off 12 Leicester attempts, and they got to the line a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it's that thing I kept mentioning all game long. I mean, Leicester just made a very good job of getting inside the Surrey paint, making the defense collapse, but also identifying areas where they could exploit it. Both teams with 10 3-point field goals apiece. But, when you're able to dissect the team down play after play, it just says the defense is lacking a lot of confidence, and that's what Leicester did tonight.
19 offensive rebounds for the Surrey Scorchers, but only 10 second chance points. And Leicester were basically 1 point per offensive rebounds. That's good efficiency when you get that ball to put it back in and get some points on the board for them. And that is certainly something that helped Leicester through tonight's game. And they've won this one by 91 points to 78. Latest from the Copper Box. London Lions leading 82-65. So they look like they're going to continue their unbeaten start to the season. Doubleheaders Saturday, Sunday here on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. Plymouth against Bristol, part 3 of the Southwest Derby. Leicester go again against Manchester. Sheffield and Caledonia head-to-head in the early game on Sunday, followed by the Northwest Derby. Cheshire against Manchester, and the bonus Monday night game, London against Newcastle. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel to keep on top of all of the action in the British Basketball League. Well, London's game not quite over yet. We'll have a look at the league table, bearing in mind that that game hasn't yet finished. But the Leicester Riders move up to second, 4-1, and still Surrey, Josh, looking for that first win of the season.
Yeah, it looks very tough, but you know, the final playoff position is position number 8 there. The Giants came very close against the Lions, but Surrey's got to put in mind that they're not completely out of it. You know, it's not a must-win at the moment. Yeah, you want to pick up victories, but we're still only 5 games into the season. They look above them. There's teams that they could probably catch, and that's the Giants and the Patriots. But this team, collectively, they've got to do it on the court together. It's down to the players now to realize we have to figure out a way how to win games.
Well, they certainly do. But for Leicester, the ship is rolling in the right direction. 4 wins in a row and up to second. They're ready to go to Manchester again tomorrow. Well, Josh and I have enjoyed your company with us today. Make sure you stick to it on the British Basketball League YouTube channel. We'll see you again very soon. Goodbye.